Hi, I'm Vince Staples here with AV Club. Make sure to check out the Vince Staples Show on Netflix right now. The Vince Staples Show is about everyday life and how it affects us and the people around us based on our perspective. A lot of people might think that the Vince Staples Show is just about me and my rise to fame or whatever you want to call it, but it's really about the perspective and how I see the world around me and how I see people seeing other people. And I just happen to be a character in the show. But yeah, it's about the world around us and how every day something ridiculous could happen that might seem crazy to the world around us, but inside the bubble, it's just another day. The role that music plays in the show is very integral, even though it might not be Vince's music. Like, we try to keep everything diegetic because it's a day in the life type story. So we have some bigger scenes that will have score to them, but it's really just about how people digest music and sound in general. Like, when you think about day-to-day life, how often do you hear music if you're not playing it yourself? Is it a car passing by? Is it something distant in a room? What is it? What ambiance is it creating? Like, we have a theme park episode where the music in the theme park kind of bends to the experience that we're having. And I feel like Vince's music is a talking point for people who know who Vince is. As an artist, we have these humongous egos thinking that we're the biggest thing in the world, and that's not always true. Especially in my case, being a smaller artist, there aren't that many people who know my music or know who I even am. So it's always interesting in real life to see people, like, say you have two people on the street, right, and one person's like, oh, do you know who this is? That's always awkward. It's always a weird conversation. You don't want a picture? Like, it's a lot of that as well. So it's just kind of poking fun at like the idea of fame, and that's kind of how we use music in the show. I would love to bring Maurice back to Abbott Elementary. Being the mailman is important to the school ecosystem, to a city's ecosystem. So I feel like Maurice is still on Abbott. Every time you see a package, every time something gets delivered, it's the ghost of Maurice walking through the halls of Abbott Elementary. So yeah, hopefully one day, I might be able to be brought back for a small cameo. But I'm just so appreciative of Quinta's opportunity that she gave me, and also the knowledge she just gave me on how to just orchestrate a show and run a set and be a real producer, actor, writer. Like, I just love her to death. Like, she's like my family. So I just really appreciate even being there. If it was one episode or however many episodes I end up having or would have had, it was a great experience. I would probably have to say, as a kid, meeting Snoopy at Knott's Berry Farm, it was a big deal. We have a family image with Snoopy. And then we have another one that I wasn't in with Snoopy, and they lost my Snoopy picture, of course. But Snoopy was a big one for me. As I got older, I'm honestly never really been starstruck. Just gotta appreciate people for their art. So it's more so curious about questions. But Snoopy, that threw me for a loop. That was a big one.